Apple fans, brace yourselves. Could your next iPhone cost nearly $2,300? Stay tuned to find out why, as we dive into the latest Apple news and more. Welcome to the Apple Daily News. This podcast is created by Generative AI. Today is April 4th, 2025, and we have a lot to unpack. Let's start with the seismic shift in the US stock market. Yesterday marked the worst trading day since the COVID pandemic, and the tech sector bore the brunt of it. Following former President Donald Trump's announcement of sweeping tariffs on imports from countries like China, the EU, and Japan, the Nasdaq plummeted 6%, the S&P 500 dropped 4.8%, and the Dow fell 3.9%. Tech giants Apple and Nvidia alone lost a staggering $470 billion in market value by midday. The US dollar also hit a 6-month low, and oil prices tumbled, signaling fears of a global economic slowdown. Trump, however, remains optimistic, calling this the dawn of a golden age of America. But economists and business leaders warn that these tariffs could destabilize the economy and hurt consumers by driving up prices. Now, let's zoom in on how these tariffs are impacting Apple specifically. With most iPhones manufactured in China, which now faces a 54% tariff, Apple is in a tough spot. Analysts predict that the base model iPhone 16, currently priced at $799, could skyrocket to $1,142, while the high-end iPhone 16 Pro Max might reach nearly $2,300. Apple's stock took a hit, falling 9.3%, its worst performance since March 2020. Even Apple's efforts to diversify production to countries like Vietnam and India haven't provided much relief, as these nations are also subject to tariffs of 46% and 26%, respectively. Analysts estimate that Apple could lose up to $40 billion if these tariffs persist. The company faces a critical decision: absorb the costs or pass them on to consumers. Either way, the stakes are high, and the competitive landscape could shift, with rivals like Samsung potentially gaining an edge. Speaking of Apple's challenges, renowned analyst Ming-Chi Kuo has outlined 5 strategies Apple might adopt to mitigate the tariff impact. These include ramping up iPhone production in India, raising prices on high-end models, enhancing carrier subsidies, reducing trade-in values, and pressuring suppliers to cut costs. Kuo believes that if Apple can increase its Indian production to over 30% of its global supply, the negative impact on gross margins could be minimized. However, even with these measures, Apple's gross margin might temporarily dip below 40%. It's a delicate balancing act for the tech giant as it navigates this new trade landscape. On a lighter note, let's talk about gaming. Apple Arcade has just expanded its lineup with 6 new titles, including the much-anticipated Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic. This game brings back the nostalgia of designing and managing amusement parks, now optimized for iPhone, iPad, and Mac. Another standout is Katamari Damacy Rolling Live, the first original Katamari game in nearly 8 years. Other additions include The Game of Life 2, Sesame Street Mecha Builders, Space Invaders Infinity Gene Evolve, and Puffies. For $6.99 a month, Apple Arcade offers ad-free gaming across multiple devices, and these new titles are part of Apple's strategy to attract more subscribers. If you're a gamer, now might be the perfect time to check it out. Lastly, let's discuss a handy new app for all you screenshot enthusiasts. SS Diary is here to revolutionize how you manage your screenshots. This app allows you to categorize screenshots immediately after capturing them, saving you from endless scrolling through your gallery. It also organizes existing screenshots into folders, tags, or timelines. The interface is clean and intuitive, and it even offers secure backup options. The app is free, with a pro version available for just 49 cents a month, or 199 cents a year. Importantly, the developer, Ramat Khan, assures users that no data is collected, ensuring your privacy. If you're someone who takes a lot of screenshots, this app could be a game changer. That's all for today's episode of the Apple Daily News. Remember, links to all the stories we covered can be found in the episode notes. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow for more updates from the world of Apple and beyond.